So, how does learning and memory work? There are three stages of learning and memory. Firstly, the brain will encode the information, and then the info is stored in our brain. Lastly, we will retrieve the info for usage. Let's start with encoding. Encoding is forming a memory code. There are three types of encoding: semantic, visual, and acoustic. Semantic encoding is an encoding of words. We use it to memorize words, and we tended to recall them in categories as we paid attention to the meanings of the words when we learn it. Visual encoding is encoding of images. It is easier to recall the words cake, cat, and pen rather than level and value, right? This is because cake, cat, and pen are concrete and high imaginary words. Now, let's turn our attention to acoustic. Acoustic encoding here means we encode the sounds that the words make. For example, the alphabet sounds, word intended for the children to memorize through song, rhyme, and rhythm. There are 5 senses of human which were used to encode. It is hearing, sight, touch, taste, and smell. Storage. What is storage? Storage means maintaining encoded information in memory over time. These are the 3 types of memory, which are sensory memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Sensory memory is a brief storage which held up to a couple of seconds. It's stimuli from environment, and we also tend to discard the information that we viewed as not valuable. Short-term memory is a temporary storage system. It lasts about 20 seconds and retains about 9 items in short-term memory, while long-term memory has 2 types of memories, which are explicit memories and implicit memories. Explicit memories is a memory with conscious recall, while implicit memories is a memory without conscious recall. In explicit memory, it has episodic memory, which are events that have been experienced, and semantic memory, which are general knowledge facts. Which in implicit memories, it has motor skills, actions, and procedures. Memory is linking to each other. When our body receives sensory, it triggers our sensory memory. And if the information is ignored, the info will lost. But if you keep them, it will transfer to short-term memory. In order to keep the short-term memory to transfer to long-term memory, you need to do the rote learning, rehearsal, and recording, like rearrange the information. But what if you discard the information? Of course, the information will be lost. Next, retrieval. There are 3 ways to retrieve info by recall, recognition, and relearning, and 3 main types of recall, which are free, serial, and queued. Free recall occurs when you need to recall many items, but you can recall them in any order. But different for serial, you tended to recall items or events in the order in which they are occurred. As for queued recall, a cue or word is presented is related to the information being remembered. In simpler words, recalling information with hints. The stronger the link between the cue and the information, the better you recall the word.
Okay, so here is another topic that we would like to cover on our chapter. It is about forgetting. Forgetting is a loss of information from long-term memory. And here, I have collected the info of 4 types of forgetting. The first type of forgetting is amnesia. Amnesia is a loss of memory such as facts, information, and experiences. There is several types of amnesia, and first is a retrograde amnesia. Retrograde amnesia is the is the inability to remember old memories. And the second one is interrogate amnesia. Interrogate amnesia is the inability to form new memories. And the third one is dissociative amnesia. Dissociative amnesia is when a person is unable to recall important information about their life as their history, or they can identify the history. And then we move on to the fourth one. The fourth one is post-traumatic amnesia, also called PTA. It is a type of amnesia that comes after brain injury. And the fifth one is the infantile amnesia. Infantile amnesia is an adult's inability to remember the first few years as a baby and a toddler. And we're moving on to the transient global amnesia, also called TGA. It is a sudden and temporary memory loss. And then we move on to drug-induced amnesia. Drug-induced amnesia is a common medical practice. It's a common medical practice during surgery or health procedures that would otherwise cause pain or discomfort. And then the last one, and the last type of amnesia is selective amnesia. It is when a person can recall some events of a traumatic event or in other situation that is traumatic for him or her. And then we're moving on to the second one, which is interference. Interference, in other way, is a memory phenomenon in which some memories interfere with the retrieval of other memories. Interference is an explanation of forgetting in long-term memory, indicating that memories interfere with each other and cause forgetting. In other words, interference with other memories causes forgetting. The proactive interference occurs when memories from someone's past influence new memories. While the retroactive interference occurs when old memories are changed by new ones. Sometimes, so much that the original memory is forgotten. Continue with the repression. Repression is a situation when an individual may be unable to recall the memory. It may still affect the individual through subconsciousness influences on behavior and emotional responding. And first, the repressed memory theory claims that although an individual may be unable to recall the memory, it may still affect the individual through subconsciousness influences on behavior and emotional responding, as we can see on the first note. And the second note is suppressed memories are created by a process called state-dependent learning. When the brain creates memories in a certain mood or state, particularly of stress or trauma, these memories become inaccessible in a normal state of consciousness. And the last one is the repressed memories are memories that have been unconsciously blocked due to memory being associated with high level of stress or trauma. And then we're moving on to the last type of forgetting. The last type of forgetting is the decay or extinction. It is a theory that proposes that memory fades due to the mere passage of time. Information is therefore less available for later retrieval as time passes and memory as well as memory strength wears away. When an individual learns something new, a neurochemical memory test is created. The theory that learn naturally lives in the brain The theory that learn material lives in the brain a trace or impression that autonomously recedes and disappears unless the material is practiced and used. Decay theory is a theory of forgetting. Decay theory also is similar to interference theory in the way that old memories are lost over time. Memories are lost in decay theory by the passing of time. In interference theory, memories are lost due to newly acquired memories. Both decay and interference theories are involved in psychological theories of forgetting. And that's all from me and the topic of forgetting. We will move on to my other roommates. Thank you.
Strategy for improving encoding, storage, and variable. The first step is improving encoding, improving storage, and improving variable. For the improving encoding, which are included competing stimuli, for example, conclusively excluded anything that does not. Secondly, use various sensory modes. For example, use as many senses as possible. Thirdly, use previewing, anticipate, watch the contents and structure of the incoming message. And lastly, carefully and specifically define purpose. For example, know the type of information. The next, for the improving storage, use immediate review after reading of lecture. Secondly, use numerous sensory channels. For example, make storage more effective. For the improving storage, organize for record information to be stored. For example, organize information into the manageable bits of chunks. Use elaboration. For example, read, reread, reflect, ask question. Lastly, connect new learning with previous learning. For example, link new learning to already stored information. For the improving variable, firstly, use visualization. For example, create mental picture or what you want to learn. And secondly, develop variable clue. Select word first and summarize or categorize bits of information. And lastly, simulate test condition. Practice variable information by simulating test condition. Lastly, learn beyond master. For example, continue practice and review after you learn. For the how get focus, firstly, set a SMART goal. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timeless. And secondly, focus on similar tasks. Tired of jumping from one type of thinking to another, then pick tasks that are similar, group them together, and do one at a time. This makes transition to smoother, and you may find that you get a lot more done by not jumping from one type of task to another. Thirdly, be more mindful. Thus, your mind tends to wander away from where it's supposed to be. You definitely not alone. Distract thinking is common and something we all experience. However, this short mental vacation often make it hard to focus on the task in front of you. That's where mindfulness comes in. Lastly, get rid of the distraction. Start with the simplest thing like moving to a quiet area. And the next, turning off notification on your phone or turning your phone off together. Second one is closing the door to your office. Thirdly, telling those around you not to distract you for a period of time. And lastly, closing out of program or apps that's arranged not essential on your computer. Next is strengthening your memory. Firstly, rehearsal, repetition of information to be remembered. And secondly, incorporate visual aid like note card, concept, maps, and highlight text, a way of making information stand out. Suddenly, create memory device. Memo can help you retain information while only needing to remember a unique pace of letter pattern that stand out. The next is chunking. Organize information into the manageable bits of chunks. Chunking is usually useful when trying to remember like dates and phone numbers. Moreover, connect next information to all informations. Like take stock of what you already know, information that's already stored in long-term memory, and use it as information for learning newer information. And lastly, get quality sleep. Sleep they recommend most people should aim for 6-8 hours every night. This quarter word full of wisdom that someone important say and can make the reader get inspired.